but rather you need to create these small changes in your lifestyle that help you adopt towards these goals of mental and emotional stability that you want, right? You need to make these small changes that are gonna amount to this big lifestyle change that is gonna create a different response system, different channel of neurotransmission, and just a different input output in your body, right? Meaning, start eating good food, start taking care of the amount of sugar and these hormonal spikes that happen because of the food you eat or the things you drink. We need to try and understand how our mind and body works together, right? I don't know about you guys, but I just haven't had the best week this week. I've had very low self-esteem, a lot of stress, and things just don't seem to be going my way. And especially after yesterday when my shoulder and neck were hurting so bad that I couldn't even get out of bed. I didn't think I was gonna get out of bed today. But you know what? I got up and I decided maybe I'll make this video. Maybe I'll post this video. Just in the hopes that somebody else that's also not having the best of time finds this video, watches this video, and for whatever reason finds that my nonsense helps them feel better. And what else could I ask for, right? What else could make me feel better in a time like this than making somebody else feel better? Well, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you share it to anybody that you think needs this video. Leave some comments so I know what you guys think, so I know what kind of videos you guys want to see in this channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you can follow my journey here and see where I end up, right? But for now, make sure you guys go grab yourself a cup of tea. We'll come back, we'll talk about how we're feeling and how we can possibly feel better. All right, I'll be right back. Welcome to A World Within. I'm Bipin, and today we're gonna try to figure out what's getting us down, right? Try to figure out how we can possibly change this negativity, this negative moment into a more positive outlook. And let me first start by let me tell you something. I am not in the mood to try and cheer myself up, right? Actually, making this video is helping a little bit because this feels like a great therapy session by yourself, and I couldn't ask for anything else at the moment, honestly. But so why are we feeling the way we are feeling at the moment? And honestly, one of the more general and more common reasons we're not feeling the best right now is because it's winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, right? It's winter right now, and a lot of us don't get enough sunlight, enough vitamin D, enough good hormones to make us feel better. So it's almost natural for a lot of us to not feel our best, to feel negative and uninspired in the winter. And there's a lot of things we can do to try and fix that, right? Like there's light box therapies and everything else like that. You guys can actually research that. It's very interesting because whatever we've known to be winter blues can apparently be solved by exposing people to different amounts of lights, right? But it could be that, right? It could just be that we're just depressed because of climate, because of the chemicals, which is very much the case, right? For a lot of us, we just don't know it, but it's just a chemical imbalance in our body that's making us feel not so good. So if that's the case, make sure you take your vitamins, make sure you try to stay out in the sun whenever there is sun, right? And make sure you eat proper food, make sure you eat warm, soupy foods, right? But that's only one part of the solution. The other part, how do you build self-confidence? How do you tell yourself that you're not crap? because that's what we tell ourselves a lot, right? I mean, negative self-talk is so common right now. Like, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, that's just how I am. Oh, I'm so clumsy. All of this is so much more common than somebody just going, oh, I'm smart. Oh, I'm a happy person. Oh, yeah, I always do things right. And the society doesn't seem to respect people that say, oh, I'm right, I'm happy, I'm good, right? And that already creates a little bit of a, issue there. But what is it for me that's making me upset right now? Well, recently I got my permanent resident card for America, right? Now I'm a resident here legally. Well, I've always been legal. I just have been waiting for this permanent residency card so that me and my wife can make decisions for our life, for our future and everything. And ever since the card got here, I've had this immense pressure to find a job and commit to a profession as soon as possible. And I think that's stressing me out a little bit too much, right? Because, I've been applying to a lot of jobs, I've been talking to a lot of people, interviewing and everything, but what I am looking for in terms of work-life balance, a good pay, because I'm a very hard working individual, right? I'm very intelligent and I use all my abilities all the time to try and do my best. No matter what industry it is, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what field, anything, right? I always do my best. And I think I deserve a certain type of work-life balance, which doesn't seem to exist still in this industry, still in this economy, still with all these workers quitting and leaving these employers in a bad position. They don't want to learn. They don't want to accept that people are looking for a better life, right? They don't want to accept that nobody wants to work 6-7 days out of the week anymore. Especially after the pandemic, we've all realized that our time is probably more valuable than money. So a lot of people are actually taking the steps to, reduce the number of hours they work so they can spend more time doing the things they love. Even, my uncle actually, he was a doctor, and, he was one of those guys that always, chased money, chased that respect in society that comes with having more money, right? But recently, even he changed his viewpoint. He said, you know what? Above 70,000, the amount of money you make is not gonna have much impact on your happiness. So what's the point, right? What's the point of chasing that money if it has no impact on your happiness, in your content, in your, in a fulfilled life? What's the point of it? Why would you work that much extra to, just slave away when it doesn't add anything to your happiness? Well, he learned it. I've known this, and now it seems a lot of people know this, right? A lot of people are thinking that way. A lot of people are questioning their life decisions and asking themselves why they are in the situation they are in. And it's been very common in the restaurant industry and everything, where a lot of people are just quitting because they realize they don't have to work in these situations where they're just harassed by customers and employers all the time with no work-life balance. I mean, my wife was working till 3 in the morning at times when she was a bartender. She doesn't want to do that anymore, right? Nobody wants to do that anymore. People would rather be home to spend time with their loved ones, right? So I am going through that same problem, trying to apply for these jobs, trying to strike this good balance between life and home, like work life and home life. And it's proven to be pretty difficult. And not just that, my mood fluctuation has been a little out of control. I don't know what's fueling this, but I'm trying to get back into good practice so that my moods are more constant, not haywire like they've been. And the self-confidence, I think, will improve with the improvement in my mood, because I know they're related. Yeah, it's always been like that with me. When it rains, it pours, right? There's no in between. Either I'm having a great time or not so great. But besides that, I don't know, there just seems to be a lot of things that just seem to bring me down. And honestly, I don't even know all the reasons, right? Even when things do go good, even when things do go my way, I will feel down. And that brings me back to chemical imbalance again, right? Most of us have a chemical imbalance in our body that creates these hormonal imbalances and different type of responses in our system. Like depression, anxiety. A lot of these are also the lack of certain neurotransmitters in our brain, and those neurotransmitters arise from other activities. So like if you exercise, you produce serotonin that does help you reduce depression, and all of this is very interconnected. So my chemical being off could be the reason that I'm not feeling so good, right? It doesn't have to even be a life event that triggered it. It doesn't even have to be someone doing something against it. It could just be our system unable to regulate our neurotransmitters and hormones and everything that end up resulting in a series of bad decisions or bad steps that bring you to this position of depression or sadness or unfulfillment or self-doubt or anything else like that, right? And therapy helps a lot. I know medications help sometimes, but honestly, long run, I think we just gotta keep trying more sustainable practices, right? We can't be taking medicines for the rest of our life. We can't be depending on a therapist for the rest of our life, right? Like, how do we create a self-sustainable habit that can constantly keep us in a positive mindset? And because these waves of bad and good are unavoidable, right? So if you are gonna have good, you are gonna have bad. So how do we extend the time that this good exists within our life? How do we reduce the amount of time that this bad stays in our system, right? So that's the main thing. We need to try to find practices that are gonna keep us in this positive for longer. We're gonna have to try to find practices that are gonna keep us away from these negative moments for longer, right? And that, I think, is what needs to be more of our approach, right? We can't be trying to find simple band-aid solutions to bigger problems like emotional and depression and anxiety in our system, right? We need to find a way to change our lifestyle so that we can extend these periods of good. It's not about these band-aid solutions. You can't just expect to take medicines and go to therapy for the rest of your life, but rather you need to create these small changes in your lifestyle that help you adopt towards these goals of mental and emotional stability that you want, right? You need to make these small changes that are gonna amount to this big lifestyle change that is gonna create a different response system, different channel of neurotransmission, and just a different input-output in your body, right? Meaning, start eating good food, start taking care of the amount of sugar and these hormonal spikes that happen because of the food you eat or the things you drink and all of this. Try to really understand our system and our body. Instead, we need to try and understand how our mind and body works together, right? What kind of food that we put in our system creates what kind of emotional response in our mind. What type of lifestyle changes, like running, exercising, what do they do to create a different response in our mind, right? How do the bodily practices, how do the things that we input and output from our body affect our mental and emotional well-being, right? That's one of the things that we really, really need to pay attention to, right? How does this body connect to our mind, and how do the bodily changes create a change in our mind? And that becomes very important if we really want to feel better long term, right? If we're not just trying to feel better for that day, if we're trying to create sustainable habits and practices that are going to extend these moments of positivity and push back on these moments of negativity. Well, guys, I hope you found some form of wisdom, some form of knowledge, and some form of resonance within this video. I really appreciate you guys listening to me. Make sure you guys like my video, leave some comments, make sure you share this video to whoever you think is gonna find some values within this content. Subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell icon so you know when I release my next video. But till then, have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Namaste.